Hi everyone, this is Boardgames and Bourbon, and I'm Glenn Flaherty. And right now, I want to talk to you about 1851 Express, which is a new game brought to you by those who made Mintworks and Mint Delivery. And this here is a game that is a reimagining of a previous one. And what you're doing in it is you're drafting cards, creating crazily named objects and gadgets, and you're trying to have the most points after 3 rounds. Now, the game is called Area 1851 because it's named after the year 1851 in the Old West. Area 51 because it has alien technology in it, and the West, I guess, also involves First Nations people. And so what you're going to do in it is very simple. You only have 2 rules. You're either picking a card up or placing one down. You're either picking a card up because you need one called the thingy, or a power tells you to do it. You're playing a card down either as a gadget you're building, modifying a gadget, or as a scrap that you might use in the future. And then you pass your cards around in a draft. And you are going to be protective of what you might need. You might hate draft. You might plan for the future. You might try to build things because certain objects are worth more points than others. You might do it because you need the special powers that creating a gadget will give you. And so there's a whole lot going on, and it's very fast and fun. Now, I will say the game is about 1 tick up in complexity from Sushi-Go because of the points and because of the gadgets, but the strategy goes up by 3-fold, and that doesn't necessarily push it out of the range of an introductory game, like to start at a social event. I brought the game down with me to Oaxaca for a mezcal tasting and wedding, and everyone there, who I assume hadn't played before, had a great time playing it. And so anyway, with that, it gets my thumbs up. Let's talk about this. I'll show you very briefly how it plays. Alright everyone, what we have here is a setup for the game Area 1851 Express. It's very simple, as you can see. It contains a deck here that is full of modifiers, bases, and scraps that you are going to use to build gadgets in the game, things that are bases for the game should you be stuck, tokens you might earn, and points that you want to earn the most of over 3 rounds to win the game. Now, when you're drawing from this pile, you're going to get 7 cards, and the 7 cards are going to look like these, okay? A whole fistful of things. They're all pretty cool. And what's going to happen here, I'm going to draw 2 to pay attention to, is you're going to get a card like this. And what this says is it's riding boots. It has a little symbol on it that's gray. That means you can use it to start a gadget. That's called the base symbol. Tells you how many points you'll get when you're done with it, a power you might get at the end, and we'll talk about different powers, but it also shows you what kind of card can attach to it, and these are straps. So if you can imagine like old luggage on a carriage on a trunk, you kind of put these together like that, and when you've completed those straps, you've completed a gadget. You'll get the points of both cards. Right now, this is showing that you'd get 6 points, and then you'd activate the powers at the bottom. The skull is a bad one, that means card goes away, but the shovel is good, that means a card is coming. And once you do that, you get the reputation points. This is not the only place where a strap could be. If you look over here, like on this card, which is called a scrap, all right, there's actually 3 locations. You might have one up here, you might have one there, you might have 3 over there. All that's important is that they line up. Now, again, I said in the game, you're going to draw cards, simultaneously play one, and then pass it around. Well, the good thing is you're never going to forget what you're going to do while you're doing that, because this little player aid here organizes your play area, tells you the order to play, it tells you all the powers. Now, on your turn, once you get a card, you can do a few things with it. You can either start your new gadget, like let's find a cool card here. Let's say I was going to put this down. I could put this down to start a new gadget, okay? Once I play 1 card, that's all I can do. Then I pass. I can attach a modifier to it, and let's just say we're on another turn, and I'm looking through my deck of cards here. I don't really have anything I want to play. Here, I'll take this one here. Well, this one can only add a 3. I'm going to take this card here, and I'm going to play it right here. And that's called adding a modifier. So I've done that right there. Adding that modifier in this particular case has also finished the gadget. So now I have a titanium electroplated encounter suit worth 4 points and a whole bunch of powers, right? And that is called adding a modifier, and that can really help you score your points fast and early. You can also attach a scrap card. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's just say if I am here, okay, what I can do is I can take a card like this. It's nothing in particular, but what I can do is I can attach it here just so I can score before time runs out in my round. This card in particular is only 1 point, but it gets the job done and lets me at least get 1 power. It doesn't give me an extra, but so be it. Some cards are also going to help you in the future. They say, like, if you have cards and what's called a scrap heap, you can activate it, you can do things, you can swap. So maybe I want to take a card and put it in my scrap heap. That's another thing I could do. Lastly, if I didn't have any cards at all that I could use to start my gadget, I can go into the thing pile. And here's an example of a thing. This is called the native thing. It's worth 0 points. It also has this symbol up here, so you know it is a base. It's not worth anything, but it gives me lots of opportunities to add other objects, and it will give me a power at the end. So I could go there as well. So let's just say I was going to try to build something, and let's see if I can do something kind of cool here to kind of get us up and going. So what I'll do here, let me grab some cards here, and let's see what we can build. All right. The first card in my hand, let's see here. I'm going to play a card, and it's called Nasal Insert. I love these names. I love the names, and I love the art. This is fantastic. Okay, I have the nasal insert. I pass my cards around. Okay, there you go. Becky, I'm going to give you my cards. All right, Kevin, give me yours. Ooh, I need to add something. So I'm going through these cards here, and what I really want to do is add something that has a lot of points. I need 2. Let's see. Let's go here. I'm going to add this here. This is called the vibrating. So we're 6 points. Wow. Unfortunately, this one has a skull, and that means I have to throw something away. But this one has 3 little bars. Well, what does that mean? Well, don't forget you have your handy dandy little cheat sheet here you can look at. Let's see if we can get that to focus on there. And it says right here that I'm going to gain 1 reputation point for every other card of this gadget that matches. So what that means is, because this is my base and that's an alien card, this is an alien card, I'm going to get a bonus point because those 2 symbols match. That is awesome, okay? So I pass my cards again. Oh my goodness, this is really going to turn out well. Let's see here. Now my new cards are coming to my hand. Ooh, I don't really have anything I can play, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play a scrap card because nothing would line up, and I'm going to do that. Fine, done. Okay, everyone simultaneously played their cards, and this is what I did. And I created a vibrating nasal insert. So I have 6 points, 2 points, that's 8. Plus this, I have 9. My power says I get an extra point, so I actually get 10. However, the skull, oh no, what does that mean for me? Well, let's refer to our handy dandy guide again. And the skull says here, lose a card from your scrap heap at random. Well, good news, buddy. I don't have any there, so I didn't lose anything. However, you can see how the timing would be. If I had something important back there that I was saving for the future, that would have kind of been a detriment. But the powers are going to let you exchange cards, it'll let you steal cards, it'll let you keep a card, it'll let you do, X, Y, and Z. There's a ton of things. So let's go through them all as we're reading this. I'll put this right here so we can read this. Okay, the first thing it says is, has these little chevrons up here. Little chevrons say, gain 1 reputation for each attachment point on the attached base. Great. Next, gain 1 rep for each card on this gadget that doesn't match. So you can see the effects go both ways. You have each player draw a card. You're going to do that if you feel like you're behind and you really need to finish a gadget. Add a card to your scrap heap. Add 2 cards from this gadget to your scrap heap. Okay, so that means you're building it up. Maybe you can use it in the future. Add a card to your workspace. This is the workspace where you're actually creating things. Okay. All right, lose a card from your scrap heap. Gain 2 rep for each card you discard from your scrap heap. Wow, so if you had a whole bunch of things back there, now you get rid of them and you get 2. That's fantastic. I actually won a game that way, and I won like 42-38. Gain 3 reps for each empty attachment point on this gadget. Ooh, that's pretty cool. So actually you don't want to finish it. Gain 1 rep for every other card that matches. And then you have the tokens. So the tokens are these little things that are here, and you can basically use those when you need to at the same point when you're drawing cards. It says draw one card, play an additional one, draw one card, or take one card from your scrap heap. Basically, it's giving you more flexibility. The one that looks like a dome says place a stasis token on your unfinished gadget and it won't go away. Why is that important? Because at the end of the round, if you have not completed your gadget, it gets swept away, okay? So that's pretty important. That means you can save it and still try to score points later. Pretty important. Then it says next power, select 2 zones, your hand, the scrap heap, or the workspace. Swap one card. That's great because you might have a 6-pointer you want to put back. And why would I ever scrap a 6-pointer? Because I don't want my opponent to get it. So that would have really helped. And then lastly, it says here, it's a little hammer. Take one mod or unmodified base from your workspace or scrap heap into your hand and play an additional card. So you can see there's a lot of ways to work it. Timing is valuable, and also you're never stuck. Frankly, it's a very cool game to look at. It's fun to say the titles, and it's very easy to understand. The fact that you never get stuck in a bad situation, you have so many outs, the thing cards, the powers, it really makes it a joy. Totally replaces games like Sushi-Go like that for me. Anyway, that is Area 1851 Express. Let me show you that cool cover. This is just a prototype here, but wow, what a great game. I hope you check that out and enjoy it. And let me know your thoughts. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.